Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach, Wamalak Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnify the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent, and they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Aquat out there, the sincere sisters that are out there zealous, diligent, and on fire, moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to everybody again tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Kasiyah Servant 144K, Brother Azariah, Shalom King, HBK Ent, Benjamin Youngwolf, Yvette McKellar, Dinah, Black Toya, Yasha Allah 12 Yakad, Anthony Knox, Nakamaya, Shalom Williams, Abram, the Don Israel, and again, everybody else tuning in and that will tune in, Lord willing. Are you watching? Right? And again, this is a rhetorical question because we know that you brothers should be watching and you are watching. Right? The question is, are you watching? Are you watching the prophecies unfold? Are you watching the judgments that the Most High is doing on the earth? Right? What are you doing with the time that the Most High has given you that is very limited and very precious as we approach the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai? How are you managing your time? What are you engaging in? Are you engaging too much into the world, social media, your job, worldly family, your family in general, hobbies, pastimes, things that separate you from paying attention to what time that you're living in, right? Every brother, and we have to go into this because, again, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmir Shai, it's our job as watchmen to constantly warn our people about what the Heavenly Father is doing on the earth and what is coming to the earth to the people. Right? Let's go to Second Ezra, the second chapter, and let's read verse number 13. Right? Second Ezra, chapter 2 and 13. It reads, Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. You see? So the Most High said to Ezra, Go and ye shall receive. Right? Go out, labor, do the work. Make sure you're teaching the sheep. Make sure that you are setting yourself up to receive the promises and immortality that is set up for you. Every brother has a particular lot, and we're laboring that we may enter into that kingdom. So the Lord has commanded us to go that we may receive and to pray for a few days unto us, right? So we're praying that the Most High shorten his time, right? Brothers should always be throwing up the curses on our enemies, praying that the Most High magnifies his name, praying that the Most High judges our adversaries with war, fire, destruction. You understand? Right? You have the prayers at your disposal, right? To throw up for protection, for guidance, for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but also for judgment, for destruction, and for vengeance against those that despise the Most High, his anointed, and his saints. So every brother should be praying for a few days. Check your spirit if you're praying that this society continues. You're not right in the spirit, man. Your heart not right with the Most High. If you're praying that this society lasts a little bit longer, just so you can enjoy the damn world. That's all it is. A lot of brothers don't like this topic. They don't like talking about the end of the world because they want to enjoy that new job they plan on getting and the money that comes with it so they can spend and buy and live a lucrative lifestyle in this world, bro. A lot of people don't like this topic because they set themselves up to try to be successful in a society. You know, that's nothing wrong. Hey, the Lord said use his word and not abuse it. But if your mind is too far going in this world and you're not praying for a few days, you need to examine yourself because that should be part of our prayers. That these days become shorter and shorter. And time is flying, man. August here and it's gone. You know, it's almost the middle of so-called September. So time is flying. The Lord said the kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So every brother should be watching what the Most High is doing on the earth, right? Let's go to and the Most High said, I will stand upon my tower and watch, and I will see what he shall answer to me. Let me get that in Habakkuk. And what I shall say when I am reproved, paraphrasing, right? Let's go to, and there's a lot going on in the earth, man. Right? Habakkuk chapter 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he was saying to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And what is the Lord saying to us? Well, the Lord, first of all, he speaks through his judgments. The Most High is known by his judgments that he keeps, right? The Most High is known by his power. He speaks through the angels, through his eyes, through his mouth, through the prophets, right? That's how the Most High is speaking to the men and women of Yahweh Basham Shai in the last days. And it's your job to stand upon your watch. In the ancient world, you had actual watchmen. You didn't have a camera, you didn't have a sentinel, you didn't have a security system that monitored the going out and the coming in. You didn't have CCTV and all these things. You didn't have AI. Men were responsible for the welfare of the nation that they protected. They sat upon the tower, they endured the elements. These men were full of honor, integrity, and once they saw danger coming, they blew the trumpet and warned the people. Right? So again, it's our job, it's your job to warn the people about what the Most High is doing on the earth. Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 10. Right? Let's go to Matthew, the 10th chapter. Right? And I want to read verse number 20. Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 10 and 26, actually. It's lucky. I'm a little under the weather. Right? But that's not going to stop a damn thing. Right? This Matthew chapter 10 and verse number 26. If it be the will of the Most High, right? It reads, fear them not therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. So everything that the Most High reveals to us, rather it's through our reading, or rather it's through dreams and revelations, or rather the Most High stirring up the nations, or he's stirring up the elements, that's the Most High telling us these things privately through the Holy Spirit. And whatever we see, the Lord said, preach upon the housetop, right? Meaning you proclaim the words of the Most High openly. And Yahweh Shah said it best. He said, I spake in John 18 and 20. I spake openly to the world, right? So you brothers that are watching, it's your job to speak openly to the world. All things that the Father gave Yahweh Shah, he didn't keep it secret, man. You know, this is John 18 and 20. Yahweh Shah answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whither the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. And the Jews always resort in the last days, you know, via social media, you know, because brothers can't go to an actual temple. We're not in Jerusalem, so brothers have schools, buildings, but the Most High created social media. He created lives. You brothers that are tuning in now, you're resorting amongst one another. You know, brothers are putting precepts. Some brothers are exhorting one another. You know, some brothers are greeting one another in the spirit and power of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. All right. And it's our job as we resort together for us, the men of the Most High, to speak openly to the world, meaning the nation of Israel, to proclaim to the people what the Most High is doing. And Yahweh Shai said, I always taught, I ever taught in the synagogue. And in secret have I said nothing. We're not going to watch these prophecies and just keep it to ourselves. Right? He said, in secret have I said nothing. Let's go to Luke real quick, 19. Then we're going to dive into this. Right? This is Luke chapter 19 and verse 38. Saying, blessed be the King that cometh in the name of Yahweh. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And the King is coming. Right? The King Yahweh Shai is coming. Right? Yahweh Basham Shai knoweth the day and the hour. And we know the seasons based off of the judgments that are being done in the earth. I mean, we're watching Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, play out right in front. Right? We're watching Second Ezra, the 5th chapter. We're watching certain chapters, certain verses just literally speak expressly right in front of our very eyes. The king is coming, bro. And again, if your mind is too far in the world, if your mind is preoccupied with finances and money, with materialistic things and things that you can't take to the kingdom. Hey, even Job said it. Job said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. Paraphrasing. He said, the Lord gave, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. So you brothers that are thinking you're going to take something out of this world, you ain't come in with nothing, man. You're not even taking these bodies. The Lord has a spiritual body prepared for you. So what you should be laying up, like Yahushua said, are your riches in heaven and redeeming the time because the days are evil. Right? So I'm going to read this from the top, Luke 19:38, saying, blessed be the king that cometh in the name of Yahweh, peace in heaven and glory in the highest. And some of the Pharisees from among the multitude said unto him, Master, rebuke thy disciples. Meaning, tell them to shut up. Tell them stop praising the name of you. Right? Tell them stop worshiping you and reverencing you. Right? Tell them to just kind of chill out with calling on the name of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. Tell them, chill out, man. Tell them, shut the hell up. We don't want to hear that anymore, man. Rebuke them, correct them. They're going off because they're praising the name of the Most High. And these guys was wicked, man. How are you going to tell? Why would Yahweh Shai listen to a bunch of wicked hypocrites regarding praising Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua? And these men had some damn nerve, man. Saying, Master, rebuke thy disciples. And what did Yahweh Shai say in Luke 19:40? Because this is what they're saying to us, man. Stop praising the name of the Most High. Stop going into the prophecies. Stop speaking about the blood moon. I heard that already. You're talking about the earthquakes. You're talking about what's going on in the world. Somebody just shut that down. We heard that already. Hey, people are rebuking us because we talk about the current events, man. We're talking about the end of the world. Why don't you guys just talk about how to, use the herbs? Or why don't you guys talk about this? We're going to talk about this place going down, man. And we don't care how you feel. We're going to talk about America being destroyed. We're going to talk about World War III. We're going to talk about a famine. We're going to talk about destruction. We're going to talk about an economic collapse. We're going to talk about the 12 tribes being raised up. We're going to talk about the chariots coming and destroying with fire and brimstone all the wicked in the land of the living. And you can't stop it, man. And they tried to stop the men of the Most High from praising the Almighty God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten son, Yahweh Shah. Right? Luke 19:40. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you, if these shall hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. Meaning what, man? Even if these men stop praising me, even if these men stop calling upon my name and stop blessing my name, then I could raise up stones. I could raise up anybody, man. So if you decide to hold your peace because of the fear of man, if you decide to hold your peace because of the multitude, hey, Job said that. Job said that I fear the multitude that I didn't go out, man. Even Job spoke about not holding his peace, not fearing the multitude. And even if you decided to hold your peace because you didn't want your job to see you, you didn't want your woman to find out your identity as an Israelite, man. Whatever, man. The Lord is going to raise up somebody. He can raise up inanimate objects. He can raise up stones. And as spoke in Numbers, the 22nd chapter. The Most High can make anything move, man. Right? So we're going to go into this because, again, there's a lot going on. And really kicking it off, we spoke about the blood moon, but this just transpired. You had a blood moon Friday night, and this was the major lunar eclipse that I believe about 85% of the world was able to see, right? And not too long after, you got Poland getting allegedly attacked, and we're watching that now, right? We're scrolling, we're watching, we're hitting that refresh button. We're waiting to see what's going on with Russia and Poland. Allegedly, they're having a meeting, right? They want to discuss, what action they want to take. We're seeing Israel bomb Qatar, We're watching all these things happen immediately after these blood moons and immediately after the signs in the heavens, right? So this is a sign of the end of the world. And this was done September, was it 7th? Right? I believe it was September 7th. And September is supposed to be the 7th month, right? Or sept means 7. And then you had another 7 and it fell on the 7th. And you had a blood moon that fell on the 7th day of the week, Friday night to Saturday night, man. You know, and 7 means completion. And 7 also means perfection, right? So again, you had a major blood moon. And this was it, right? Let me pull this up. 85% of the world was able to see it. And we talk about the signs in the heavens all the time, right? We talk about the signs in the heavens all the time. And not too long after, you have major protests erupting around the world, right? You have major protests erupting around the world. Let's go to Second Esdras real quick, chapter 9, right? And things are getting bad in some of these places, man. Things are getting bad. In Nepal, all hell is breaking loose. I don't even know how else to say it. I know we say that all the time, but hey, look, it is what it is. They burned the parliament building down. They actually took the minister of finance. They took him captive. And they chased him out the damn city, man. Kicked him up outside the head, man. Stripped him down. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna show you because we got the footage, man. All hell is breaking loose out there in Nepal. All hell is breaking loose out there in England, man. They arrested about 1,000 people. Right? This Second Esdras. And like I said, we're going to be in Second Esdras more and more and more. Right? Why? Because these are the prophecies that are speaking. Right? Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse number 1. And we'll never get tired of reading. Well, we read that. I remember that in the last live. It doesn't matter. I remember seeing that 2 weeks ago. You already went into that. Where's the precept where it says you only have to read, you can only read this one time in the land of the living? Now, once you get the understanding, you don't read it again. You try to get deep and move on. No, man. It's not like you read Second Esdras, the 9th chapter, and it just vanishes off the page, man. Right? The Second Esdras 9 and 1. This is one of my favorite chapters. It reads, "He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." And remember, the Most High deals with repetition. The laws, the statutes, and the commandments are given in a repetitive manner. All throughout the law, they're given multiple times. And there are certain verses where the Lord repeats himself 3 to 4 times. So our people don't get it. Our people are known for being stiff-necked and hard-hearted. So we have to go back. That's another point. We have to go back over this over and over again. We have to go back over and measure the times, seeing how close we are to the prophecies, seeing what's going on from a geopolitical global level and matching it with the Bible, right? And see that this is the Most High visit in the world. This has nothing to do with man's devices. This has nothing to do with man's intentions, but it has everything to do with prophecy and the will of the Most High God. He is the one that is causing any and every event on the earth. All the events belong to Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. Does it not tell you in Isaiah 46 that he declared the end from the beginning? Right? Let me get that real quick. Isaiah 46 and 10. It reads, declaring the declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. He didn't say he's going to do your pleasure. This ain't the pleasure of Donald Trump. It's not the pleasure of Putin to send drones and jets over the airspace of a NATO country. It has nothing to do with Putin's pleasure. It has nothing to do with world leaders and their intentions. It's the Most High's pleasure. This is his will. This is his program. And he is the one that has set this up before man was even created. This is his counsel and his devices. The Most High said in Proverbs 19 and 21, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So whatever the will of the Most High is, you're going to do it. Tell you that in Romans, the 9th chapter. Who hath resisted his will? Right? Let me get that real quick in Romans 9. Right? This Romans chapter 9 and verse number 19. It reads, thou wilt then say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? See, you might even take it another level. And you might say, well, you know what? If the Most High is controlling everything, why is he the one who said he's angry at the nations? Why does he hate Esau? Right? Well, Esau didn't do anything. He was hated from the womb. These people that are overthrowing governments, these people that are burning parliament buildings, these people that are dropping bombs and sending jets and destroying cities, hospitals, and children and schools. If the Most High is making them do that, why is the Most High going to destroy them? That might be your approach. You might think that's a valid take. Right? That's what this is saying, right? This dives into the psychology of man, where man always tries to reason and make things make sense to him. And that's the problem with man. You want this to be about you. It's about the Most High. You're always trying to make stuff make sense to you. The Most High's thoughts are not your thoughts. His ways are not your ways. And the Most High has secrets, but he don't have to give you everything, man. So I'm going to read this again, Romans 9 and 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? So the Lord said, you're just a man. Basically, hey, shut your damn mouth, man. I'm the Most High, you a man. Watch your damn mouth, man. Don't question me, man. I do what I want to do. You better go back and read the book of Job, man. 38 on down, chapter 38, chapter 39, chapter 40, and chapter 41, man. And how the Most High was leaning in on Job. Where was you when I did this? When I laid the foundation? Where were you when I did this and I made this beast and I did this? See, everything going on the earth, this is the will of the Heavenly Father, that his name might be magnified in the earth, man. Right? So again, yeah, you got these protests going on. Hey, but the Most High made them do this, man. Everything's happening so the Most High can destroy the earth and that his name can be magnified. Man has been set up, idolized, celebrities, Walk of Fame, Hall of Fame, shrines, God made us gods. It's time for the Most High to be worshipped as a supreme entity and power on the earth, man. So let's play a little of this. Now, this is fair use. Let's see which one I want to play. Right? Like I said, we got a lot we got to get into. I don't plan on going too long. Right? So let me play this. This is fair use. 14 hours ago. Now, one of the main reasons, this is fair use, one of the main reasons why they're protesting is because of a social media ban. Right? And I'm led. That was like another experiment, an experiment to see how the people respond. Right? They did it out in Nepal. They might try another place, how are they going to respond? And they might try another place, how are they going to respond? Because again, they're limiting privacy. They're banning social media. They're cutting this stuff down. I went into that in the last cold cut with the digital system. So the world is essentially gravitating towards that demon. So the people began to riot. Right? You can only take so much from an individual until he wants to take it back. Till he needs to take it back. Right? So let's play this. They say we need to protest the killing of so many young ones and students. Aiming directly at their heads by this Hitler-like KP Ali government. Boy, man, their voice, man. Right? Hey, but look, they say as long as this government is in power, now you brothers should immediately think of a precept. The people overthrowing their governments. We're going to get that too. This is Durngana Dahor, right?
हिटलर सरकार केपी ओली हिटलर जस्तो व्यक्तिले यो देशमा शासन गरिरहन्छ हामी जनताले दुःख पाउने त्यति नै हो हिजो युवा मार्यो भर्खरका कोपिला युवा मार्यो अब फेरि हामीलाई मारे पनि हामी मर्न बरु तयार छौं यो हिटलर सरकार.
They say we'll protest until this government is finished. We're going to protest until this government is finished. And a lot of these people in these so-called third world countries, they don't have nothing to lose. They don't have hobbies. I mean, when I say hobbies, they don't have the luxury of not being tapped in. You know, a lot of these Americans, they're easily distracted. You know, some of these guys are in college, you know, they're in parties, you know, they're freaking off, they're doing God knows what. These people are eating out of a damn stone pot, man. So when you take something away from them, it's as if you took everything away from them. You know, and I'm led to believe most nations are going to rebel in the event that their government does a social media ban anyway. So they said we'll protest until this government is finished. But they say they out there killing them. I'm led to believe, you know, a lot of stuff don't get a lot of press coverage. This ain't on your local Fox News. This ain't on your MSN and your CBS, man. This stuff don't get a lot of press. They don't send a lot of people out there, boots on the ground, now reporting live in Nepal. A lot of these people are just getting slain by the government, you know? You got that damn hat on his head. And it's not falling off. So these guys are serious, man. You know?
पनि यो आन्दोलनबाट दुखी छौं हिजोदेखि हामीले एक्सपेक्ट गरेका थिएनौं यो लेभलसम्म जान्छ भनेर तर अब सरकारप्रति सरकारको काम कारबाहीले गर्दा पछिल्लो समयको सरकारको गतिविधिले गर्दा यो अवस्थामा त्यो लेभलको निराशा फ्रस्ट्रेसन छ.
So these are massive protests going on, right? Now let's see how this escalated. Right? Here's what else I had going on. Now that's in so-called Nepal, right? Now check this out. It's getting bad out there, man. Right? It's getting bad out there. Now, where's this at? Okay, Nepal lifts ban that sparked deadly Generation Z protests. So now they lifted the ban, allegedly. Right? We'll see. We'll see. So you got some people saying they lifted it. Some people said they didn't. They're killing people. Right? That's social media, man. That damn TikTok, you know, them likes, that vainglory. You know, people are dying over that. Now, look at this. This is the parliament building in the background. The people went to the government parliament building, one of the chief architectural buildings in Nepal, for politics, for meetings, to discuss the future of that nation. The people went in there and they burnt the damn building damn near down, man, and took a selfie. So people's minds, man. Let me go to 2nd Ezra. People's minds all jammed up. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 15. Just to get back on TikTok. They burnt their government building down as they banned social media and then took a selfie. Right? This society is finished. This place is done. Right? That lust, that was nothing but lust. Right? This 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse number 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. So again, this is manifold, right? You have on a global level. Here we are watching Russia and Poland. Poland kind of get into it. You're watching Israel and Qatar get into it. You know, you're seeing Venezuela and America get into it. So on a global level, you have one people and another people, right? You have one foreign nation against another nation. You have civil conflict. You have internal political conflict. You have the one people being the citizens who are fed up, and then the other people is the government, and they have swords in their hands. Some people have swords out there, but it's really going into guns, you know, and these weapons that are going to be used to overthrow the government. Verse 16, here's the point. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And you have many accounts, man, in the scriptures where people did regard their kings. Read the book of First and Second Chronicles, First and Second Kings. You had kings assassinating men, man. You had men drinking themselves drunk, men thrusting people through. That spirit has always been here. Let me get a quick account of that. Let's go to 1 Samuel 4. How they killed the son of Saul, right? They didn't regard him as a king. It's like I went 2 Samuel 4, right? This 2 Samuel chapter 4 and verse 5. And the sons of Ramon, the Beerothite, Rechab and Baanah, went and came about the heat of the day to the house of Ishbosheth, who lay on the bed at noon. Now, Ishbosheth wasn't a nobody. He was a big deal. He was the son of the king, right? And they came thither into the midst of the house, as though they would have fetched wheat, and they smote him under the fifth rib, and Rechab and Baanah, his brother, escaped. So that spirit of murdering kings, not regarding who is in authority, defying the government, spray painting political buildings, just total anarchy, it's not new, right? It's not new. That's what you call it. It's called anarchy. Let's pull that up. It's like I know I spelled it wrong. Anarchy, a state of disorder due to absence or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. So right now, anarchy is biblical prophecy. Let's get another one. Let's get a pandemonium. Pandemonium, wild and noisy disorder or confusion or uproar, right? The Lord said there will be uproars amongst the people. That's called pandemonium. So biblical prophecy is not just missiles dropping, but it's also the decay of governments. Pandemonium and anarchy are also biblical prophecies. That's what 2 Ezra chapter 15 is speaking to. Let's read it again. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. But there shall be sedition among men. Sedition is speech that entices people to overthrow that government and invading one another, right? Crossing federal boundary lines, hopping over the White House fence, storming political buildings. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they essentially set the damn building on fire, right? They set the building on fire. This is from BBC News. Nepal's parliament set on fire after prime minister resigns over anti-corruption protests. So this place is finished, man. Look at the people. They set the parliament building on fire. I've never really seen nothing like that. I've never really seen 2 Ezra 15 to 15 through 16 speak so loud, like as if the Most High turned the volume up right after the blood moon. They burnt their own parliament building. This isn't just like America. You made a tweet, oh, you know, so-and-so Trump. You know, you made a post and you made a meme. That's like people going to the Capitol building Not no paid actors, not no staged event, but real people from real cities that are discontent with unemployment, right, with crime, and whatever government policy, and they go to the Capitol building and they just burn it down. So these things haven't really been happening before. Now, they also took a guy captive. Look at this from RT News. Nepali finance minister dragged along the street by angry protesters. So they found this guy, man. Look at this. They found him. They went in the building. He's the finance minister. This made me think of how Adoram, he was stoned when you read the book of 1 Kings, I believe the 12th chapter. He was over the tribute. You know, when he came to collect the tribute, he was the finance guy. And they stoned him. They actually found this guy, man, and took him captive. They should not read, and he was a prince. Your finance minister, you know, your general, these are like your princes, your top councilmen. You know? So let me get that in 1 Kings real quick. Right, let me just get that quick precept. That's 1 Kings, the 12th chapter. Right, this 1 Kings, chapter 12, and verse number, here it is, 18. Right, 1 Kings 12 and 18. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. So they stoned this guy because he was oppressing the people. It was really Solomon who was oppressing the people, but Adoram was the figurehead. So the people like, that's the guy that's been oppressing us. That's the guy. And they had enough. At first, they tolerated it. They murmured. They talked amongst each other. Then they said, we got to kill this dude, bro. So that's what they're doing out in Nepal. They found this guy, man. Look at this. This is madness. Let me play the audio. It's only 6 seconds, right? But let me play the audio. They done found the prince, the finance minister, and took him damn captive, man. We done seen it all. Look at this madness. What are they doing? I don't know what they did with him. Did they kill this guy? You know, did they beat him? Did they damn tie him to a pole, throw tomatoes at him? You know, did they rob him? You know, did they threaten him? What did they do to the Nepali finance minister? Right? What happened to this guy? Because he's not in a good case right now. This is never, that's never a situation that anybody want to be in. Man, that's the last damn thing that he thought was going to happen that day. He'll be damn trampled down in the streets by his own people. Look at this. Right? Let me play this. Now, this is, I believe this is from RT News as well, about him getting chased in his city. Right? Then I want to move on. Like I said, we got a lot we got to get into, but I mean, I have to touch on this because 2nd Ezra 15 speaks to it, man. Right now, this is damn taking all day. Right? So Salakia. Right? Maybe you can check it out on your own through the Spirit. Right? So it says Nepal's finance minister reportedly chased by protesters and kicked after a video showed him fleeing down the street. Now check this out. Here it is. Right? Got him fleeing down the street. Damn, you saw that? Wow. Right? Somebody they super kicked him. And that guy who kicked him had a demon on him. There's no way you kick somebody like that and they fly against the wall. Look at this. He broke free. That kick. And he gave him a super kick. He jumped up and kicked him in the chest. He's the finance minister. Never seen it before. Never seen a prime, one of the princes of the land, one of the councilmen, the minister of finance running. You can't tell me the Bible's not real, man. They didn't regard his title, man. They don't care how much money he got. And this guy did a super kick. He did some Muay Thai. I believe them people do Muay Thai out there. I could be wrong. I think that's the main martial arts. I could be wrong. A lot of them people, them East Indians, they do that jump and they slap people too, man. Whatever the hell that's called. They jump and they slap people in the damn chest. But this guy did a super kick. And these guys play cricket too out there, man. You know? So they can do something. They can't do much, but they do something. Look at the super kick. We gotta play it one more time. We're gonna move on. They got him. Look at this. Look at this. And they got him. They got him, man. Right? They got him. He got. Right? So this is prophecy. This is prophecy unfolding in front of your very eyes. Right? This is prophecy unfolding in front of your very eyes. Right? Now you also have other protests going on. This is out there in the UK. Right? UK, this 2 days ago, they arrest almost 1,000 protesters. So there's pandemonium, there's anarchy. You have these different global uprisings that Yahweh Shai told you what happened. This is also part of the Most High visiting the world that he made. I mean, 900 people is ridiculous. And I just did a live, this past Shabbat that they are arresting 30 people a day in the UK over social media posts, over anti-Semitism, over speaking up against transformers and abortion and other so-called controversial topics. So not only are they arresting 900 plus people for protesting, but every day there's about 30 people getting arrested for speaking out against so-called the norm, So these things are happening, man. Right? This is also, let's go to 2 Timothy. I want Jude. I can get Jude, but let's get Wisdom of Solomon. I could get Jude, right? But let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, right? Then we're going to move on. Like I said, I don't want this to be too long through the spirit, but we got to touch on this, right? This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse number, let's start at 25, right? It reads, I'll start at 24. For they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery. Yeah, this goes into the wicked Canaanites, wicked men who are going off, right? Child sacrifice, murder, adultery, so that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury. So one of the spirits that are on the earth in the last days is dissimulation and tumult. What is a tumult? Let's put that definition up. Right? A tumult, a loud, confused noise, especially one caused by a large mass of people. Same thing as we read in 2nd Esdras. right? Dissimulation. Conceal or disguise one's thoughts, feelings, or character, right? So you have governments that are into dissimulation, they're concealing information, they have hidden agendas, and then you have people who see through that and find out, and you know, they're losing their damn mind, man. Look at this, right? They're protesting. 900 people. You got Edomites. Look at these Edomites getting arrested. They're carrying this guy like a 3-year-old. Look at this old guy, man. Look at this guy. They're done. This society is done. The Roman Empire is falling. Rome is done. Look at this, carrying this guy like they got to change his damn diaper. This is an old guy, man. He's a loser. Look at him. At one time, Britain or the UK was the greatest kingdom on earth. Everybody think America has always been the greatest. No, the United Kingdom, really, America didn't become the so-called greatest empire to really after World War II. You know, before World War II, Britain called the shots. They had India down packed. They had Australia. They had parts of Africa. They had parts of America. Britain was doing a thing. You know, they were doing a thing. Look, when you look at the British Empire. Well, let's pull up British Empire. Let's see how many parts of the earth they had under their control. I believe some scholars say they had like 60% of the earth. Look at this. This is all under Britain's control. They damn near conquered the entire earth. They had China. They was selling dope in China, getting opium, man. They was drug dealing in China. They was robbing, raping, murdering out there in India. They had prisons in Australia. They was stealing the resources out of Africa. They was enslaving Jake in the transatlantic slave trade. And there's a bunch of damn demons, man. They didn't know for them to murder, robbery, and deceit. You know, and it's at their peak. 1923. That's what this says, if you can barely see it. It says British Empire at its peak at 1923. You see that? World War II came on the scene. They lost it all. So am I watching and witnessing this, right? Are we going to be upset that now they're rioting out there in the United Kingdom? Am I going to lose sleep at night? Am I praying for the UK? Oh, maybe, oh God, oh Jesus, can you make them love each other in the UK? In Jesus' name, amen, Jesus. No! We want more tumults, man. More uprising. More Edomite on Edomite crime. Look at this. I love seeing this, man. Esau on Esau action. We got to get the classic in Matthew, the 12th chapter. We got to get the classic, right? Let's go to Matthew 12. Esau on Esau, right? Esau on Esau action. Matthew chapter 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, where every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So when you have civil wars, internal breakups, sedition, hey, guess what, man? Your kingdom shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Which means it can't. Your kingdom can't stand if you're arresting. Look at these are your elder women, man. And they're protesting at what other Edomites are doing to people that are not Edomites. Look at this. They did this under the Terrorism Act 2000. Right, we're going to have to see about that. So they're doing this under the Terrorism Act, allegedly, right? Terrorism Act 2000. Let's see what that is. Okay, let's see. The Terrorism Act 2000 is the first of a number of general terrorism acts passed by the Parliament of the UK. Right? Let's see. Let's see. The Terrorism Act 2000 defines terrorism, both in and outside of the UK, as the use or threat of one or more of the actions listed below, and where they are designed to influence the government or an international governmental organization or to intimidate the public. Right? It says still up to date. Right? So you got the Patriot Act, you got the Terrorism Act. So they're cracking down. Right? They're cracking down. Now you got this going on in Georgia, out there near Russia. They got protests going on. Right? The entire world is protesting. While the average American is, what time is it? It's 11:53. They're asleep. They're going to wake up, walk to their porch with their robe on, with a cup of coffee, pick up the newspaper that the newspaper boy threw at 6 in the morning, sit down and read the paper. You know, they're going to read the funnies. They're going to get on their phone. They're going to get in their car like a robot, and they're going to work their 9 to 5. They're going to get off. They're going to watch their favorite sitcom. I don't know what's on. Then they're going to watch Wheel of Fortune. They're going to watch Jeopardy. They're going to have a beer. They might have a glass of wine. They might watch the football game. And then they might, brush their teeth, go to sleep. And they're going to do the same damn thing they've always been doing for the last 30 years, man. Completely oblivious, unaware. They have some people at your job that you go in, that you're going to go to tomorrow. They have no idea what we're talking about, what's going on in Nepal, what's going on in Georgia, what the blood moon is. People have no idea what the hell is going on. They're completely out of tune with the spirit. See, the Lord said, let's go to Mark chapter 4 real quick. Right? The Most High said what? Mark chapter 4 and verse number 11. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of the Most High. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. So unto you, the Most High said, unto you it was given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Most High. To know the prophecy, to know what time we're in, your nationality, your heritage, who your enemies are, laws, statutes, commandments, judgments, ordinances, counsels, instruction, wisdom from the Almighty Yahweh Shai. It was given unto particular spirits to bear witness with this knowledge in the last days. With everybody on the outside, the Most High put them in darkness. Why? It tells you in the next verse. That seeing they may see and not perceive. Here they are seeing this blood moon and can't perceive it's a witness and a sign of their own destruction. Here they are seeing what's going on in the world, allegedly, but can't perceive that it's written in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, second Ezra. Some people don't even know about a second Ezra. Here it is, you have the Apocrypha in front of you. That seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sin should be forgiven them. So the Most High blinded them so they don't convert to the truth. And the Most High, essentially the Most High don't want them to repent. He don't want to forgive their sins. You may think that's harsh. Well, if the Most High wanted to forgive their sins, then he will allow them to understand the truth. He don't want them to convert, so he put them in darkness. It is what it is, right? So it is with the people in the world. You got major earthquakes going on out there in Athens. A lot of wickedness happened in Athens, man. Right out there in Greece, 5.0 earthquake. They said they felt it in Turkey too, right? 5-point earthquake, large earthquake strikes popular holiday island in Greece. I wonder what happens on this holiday island. I wonder what goes on on its tourist attraction vacation spot, Holiday Island in Greece. Adultery, sodomy, child molestation, pedophilia, freakism. Now you can say prove that. I can't prove it, but I know how these devils get on these islands, man. And the Most High don't miss. The Most High don't make accidents. It's not like the Most High rolled dice and where do I think I want to hit the earthquake at? No, it hit these holiday islands, man. You know, this freakism. Let me get this precept. We read that in 2nd Ezra 9, the Lord said there will be earthquakes in diverse places and uproars of the people. Right? Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Right? 5.0 earthquake, that is not a small thing, man. Right? That is not a small thing. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse number 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things begin? It's like when these things shall come to pass. So again, the apostles asked Yahushua, what can we look for in the earth so that we know and understand that you are on your way to deliver us? What signs are you going to show us? Here's one of the signs in verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs should there be from heaven. Like that eclipse. That's a great sign from heaven. In diverse places, because you have places where earthquakes happen in the higher frequency, near fault lines and in certain places in the ocean. But for man to understand that this is an act of God, the Most High is going to put them in places that may not normally get earthquakes. So you can know that it is the Most High touching the earth. Because, leave it up to man, they'll blame the universe and Mother Nature and all these spirits and demons that they have made their own God, instead of accrediting righteousness and ascribing it to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So that's why you have a 5.0 earthquake out there, and it hit this popular island, man, out there in Greece. Do I have to do a breakdown on Greece? Do I have to go into Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth, First Maccabees the first chapter, Second Maccabees the fourth chapter, Second Maccabees the sixth chapter, the entire First Maccabees chapter 1 all the way to 16, right? The Second Maccabees 1 all the way on out to 15. Do I have to read all of the 30 plus chapters between First and Second Maccabees about the Greeks, what they did, their wickedness, abomination of desolation? Do I have to go into that? No, we don't have to go into that. I'm not upset. This doesn't bother me that they got hit with a damn earthquake, man. With all of the wickedness they did to the children of Israel, man. Right? So we had a major earthquake out there in Greece. You had another one out there in by Oregon and Washington. 5.8 earthquake out there in Oregon. They thought a tsunami would come. They said, get ready for a tsunami. Then they said, well, you know what? It might not come. So you got earthquakes in Oregon. You got earthquakes in Greece. These are diverse places. These are prophecies. For anybody that says that they don't believe the Bible, the white man wrote that book, people deserve to believe that. And if you want, you can show them these prophecies and show them what's going on. If you have an affinity for madness. But the prophecies are speaking. The Lord said, for what if some did not believe? Should their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, and what? And every man a liar. Right? So we're going to let the Most High be true. The Lord said, let's get this in Isaiah 55. He says, so shall it be, my word that goeth out, man, should not return unto me void, paraphrase. Isaiah chapter 55 and verse number, we'll start at 11. It reads, so I'll read 10. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So the rain and the snow has a purpose. It doesn't just come down for no reason. It doesn't come down, kind of gets the ground wet, and then you see rain ascend back up to the heaven. No, it comes down with a purpose. It's timed, it's strategic, and it falls by the purpose of the Most High. Its job is to water the earth that man can eat. Verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. So the same way that rain and snow comes from heaven and has a purpose, the Most High's word has a purpose when it's sent from the heavens to the earth, right? And its job is to affect man the same way that rain affects man. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So whatever the Most High said, he sent it out, it will come to pass, right? Let's go to Numbers, right? The Lord said in Titus, the first chapter, let me get that rather. Let's get this. I'll just read it, right? Titus chapter 1 and verse number 2. In hope of eternal life, which the Most High, that cannot lie, promised before the world began. So the Most High can't lie, man, right? He can't do it. The Most High is not going to renege and say, you know what? Esau have I loved, Jacob have I hated. Then you open up the Bible and the word is all switched up. You're like, what happened? And the Most High went back and he went back on his word. And the Most High is not like you and I, who are faulty, who are double-minded, who don't know what they want to eat, who's indecisive at times, who lies and fabricates to save themselves, to, get themselves in a particular situation. The Most High is not mad. He don't lie. He can't lie. He promised eternal life, and everything you see going on coincides with the Most High's promise to give the elect eternal life, right? So let's move on. So you got these earthquakes. You got the state of Israel. These damn devils again. Not only did they demolish Gaza and turned it to a burying ground, but they bombed Qatar. Now, Qatar, I believe they said they got a right to attack. Now, for brothers that don't know where Qatar is, let's pull it up on the map. Right? Let's pull up Qatar on the map, Bible map, right off Saudi Arabia. You see that? So they bombed this, man. Now, remember, Qatar is close allies with the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Yemen, a lot of these Arab nations. Now, Qatar could get bold and say, man, you know what? To the state of Israel. Let's gather our missiles up and bomb them. Right? So that's why, again, back to this. In Luke 21, what does 21 and 10 say? Luke 21 and 10, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And that's why we said, man, you got every damn near, just about, not every, damn near every prophecy is unfolding. There are way more prophecies. When the prophecies I'm speaking of, let me clarify, speak about the end of this man's world. You have prophecies about the world to come. You have other prophecies, but that directly affect our captivity here in America. You have many of them that are just unfolding right before your eyes, right? And we're showing you from blood moons to earthquakes to upwards of the people. I mean, do I have to show again what they did to the minister of finance? It's like he was the minister of finance. They drop kicked him and took him captive, man. Right? They drop kicked him and took him captive. Right? Let me see where I'm at with time. Okay. Israel attacks Qatar. Right? So let's touch on this. Now, this is from BBC. What do we know about Israeli strike on Hamas and Qatar? So allegedly they were coming after Hamas, the alleged terrorist group that who knows who funded, right, and trained and taught them, right? That's beside the point. But they attacked Qatar, and they didn't like that, huh? You know, Qatar didn't like that. Remember, Israel's agenda is that Greater Israel project, where they want to reestablish the boundaries of the promised land that was given to Abraham, from the river Euphrates all the way down to the Nile River in Egypt. So, in order to make that a reality, they have to eventually and slowly conquer all these other lands that they dwell amongst, right? And we poured that up before. When you read Genesis, the 15th chapter, we'll read it again. The Most High gave Abraham set boundaries, right, for his land. Genesis chapter 15 and 18. And a so-called Jew, in order for him to further perpetuate the fact that he is the biblical Israelite, the ancient Jew, the ancient Israelite, he has to show the people he's those people by having the same boundaries that were given to those people, which is us. We're those people, right? And we're going to get it on the Most High's terms, not man's terms. Genesis chapter 15 and 18. And the same day, Yahweh Ba'ashmi Abishai made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. So from the Nile River to the river Euphrates. It's no wonder why they're taking out Palestinians. Then they're taking out Lebanon. Then they want to go over the Golan Heights. Then they want to take out Qatar, right? They want to eventually take out all these lands. You know, that's their job, to be the wicked. Let's go to Job chapter 15, right? This is Job chapter 15 and verse number 25. It reads, for he stretched out his hand against the Most High and strengthened himself against the Almighty. And that's what the so-called Jew is doing. Little does he know, he's stretching out his hand against the Most High. Now, I actually saw a video, a brother sent me a video where you had this, I believe he was an Amalekite. This Amalekite actually came out and said that the true Amalekites are the Edomites, the people from Germany, Poland, Russia, etc. So you even got other Edomites exposing the identity of Amalek, because he's stretching out his hand against the Most High, and now the Most High is using your own people against you. Those people from the UK, man, those are Edomites. They're protesting the acts of other Edomites to the point where you got Edomites arresting 1,000 Edomites. Esau's weak, man. And when he can't go against any other nation, he'll go against his damn self. He's so into violence and war, he'll overthrow his own self. He'll consume himself. Them Edomites was murdering each other, man, in World War I. They were what's the word I'm looking for? They were unmerciful. Unmerciful. Esau and Esau is unmerciful to each other. All World War I and World War II, they want to talk about black on black crime. We all killed each other over so and so. Y'all killed millions. You have entire memorials and reparations and things that had to have been paid, and names inscribed and etched in stones, and millions because of white on white crime. White on white crime. Then you get everybody else involved. You know? So the point is, Esau stretched out his hand against the Most High. He strengthened himself against the Almighty through his counsels. Verse 26, Job 15 and 26. He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his buckler. So the so-called white man is trying to run up on the Most High, man. Him trying to wage war against the Heavenly Father. And his pride, his space force, taking down lands, trying to establish boundaries that were never given to him, removing the landmark, because he covereth his face with fatness and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. So this man is rising up against the Most High, right? That's what the scripture is saying. He's rising up against the Almighty. So let's read a little of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, right? But it reads, again, this is fair use. Explosions were heard and smoke was seen rising above the Qatari capital, Doha, early on Tuesday afternoon. That's today. Verified footage showed smoke rising from a heavily damaged section of a complex next to Wakad Patrol Station on Wadi. I wonder what this word Wadi means. Really goes back to the word Judah, Yahawada. Right? These words go back to Yahawada. Right? But we'll read on. Radan Street. It's like close back to West Bay Lagoon district of central Doha. According to the Israeli military, it conducted a quote-unquote precise strike targeted at Hamas senior leaders in Qatar using precise munitions. So they ain't like that, man. They didn't like that. Right? Now they're saying America may have been involved. So we're watching, right? We're waiting to see this thing unravel, and what is the outcome going to be? What is the outcome going to be against a nation that stretch forth their hands against such as be at peace with them? Right? Let's get that in Psalms chapter 50. 55, Salakia. Right? They stretch forth their hands against people that's not even thinking about it. It reads, I'm going to start at 19. Psalms 55 and 19. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Salah, because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not God. Esau can't change. You can sit him down in the school. You can teach him. You can break it down to him. You're going to fast. You can do God knows what. When it's all said and done, he's still going to be a damn Edomite. We should know that firsthand with Antipater the Idumean in the days of the Hasmonean Empire dynasty, where they converted by force all of the Edomites. Antipater the Idumean is one of the Edomites. They converted our fathers, John Hyrcanus II and his men that came under him, Alexander, Aristobulus, certain men. They forced the Edomites, when you study history, to become circumcised, thinking that they could get right and submit to the laws of God. Antipater the Idumean made an allegiance with Julius Caesar and Pompey and overthrew the entire kingdom of Judea. You can't change the so-called white man. History shows you that. The Most High show you that. They have no changes. They're not going to stop at just bombing Qatar. They have no changes. That's their MO. Their MO is violence and war. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. See that? So you also have, what's this? Jets, NATO jets clash with Russian drones over Poland. And this is a big deal too, man. This is a big deal. They're saying that this is an act of war. The United States representative, Joe Wilson, called it an act of war. Now, we often talk about Article 5 of NATO. What is Article 5 of NATO? You attack one NATO country, you attack all NATO countries. So we're going to see what spirit the Most High puts on Poland and NATO. We're praying, that's all up to Most High, we're praying that they say this is a violation of Article 5 of NATO. You have attacked Poland, and NATO declares war on Russia. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. We're hoping that it happens. Poland is right there with NATO. So this could draw Europe and into a war that they've been trying to avoid. Right? They're trying to avoid this. Let's see if there's anything new. Let's see. Russia is attacking this with the United States. I believe he's a senator, congressman, whatever. Here's what he said. He said Russia is attacking NATO ally Poland with Iranian Shahed drones less than a week after President Trump hosted President Naraki at the White House. This is an act of war. And we are grateful to NATO allies for their swift response to war criminal Putin's continued unprovoked aggression against free and productive nations. I urge Trump to respond with mandatory sanctions that will bankrupt the Russian war machine and arm Ukraine with weapons capable of striking Russia. So this thing can heat up. This thing can heat up. Right? So you brothers watch, man. Keep watch, man. I mean, we're covering so much from blood moons to earthquakes to super kicks on prime. What's this guy? He's the damn director of finance. He's not the director of finance. He's the prime minister of finance, pretty much, man. They're drop kicking foreign kings and leaders. You have tsunamis and earthquakes. You have drones invading nations. Right? Look at this. Russia attacks Poland. And I believe the latest, and we're watching this as we speak. We have inside men watching this as we speak to see what's going to happen. Now, the Most High, like I said, the Most High can have things kind of die back down, then they can kind of pick back up. But this thing is going down, man. Right? This thing is going down. You're going to have these wars, these rumors of wars. The Most High is into war. He is a man of war. Right? That's Exodus chapter 15:3. The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Right? Now, they actually had this. The most formidable European army is prepared to devastate Russia and bring it back to the Stone Age. Now, allegedly, this is talking about NATO. Look at this. Let me play this audio. Right. Hey, I'm all for it. You know, brothers, people are talking about this fight with Canelo. I can't remember the guy he's fighting. I want to see NATO. That's the fight I want to see. Think so? See that? So we want them to invade, man. Right? We want them to invade. Right? We don't want to just see talk. We want them to actually invade. Right? Let's get this in second Ezra real quick. Right? We want them to actually invade and cut them down. Here's the prophecy, right? Let's go to second Ezra chapter 5. Right? The boxing fight. Yeah, it's a boxing fight, whatever. It's not wicked if you check that out. But we want to see heavyweights, the real heavyweight. NATO, Russia. That's the ultimate heavyweight right there, man. They both do a lot of talking. They already did the weigh-in. The weigh-in is, who got the most missiles. You got Putin, you got meeting Trump. You got them, you got the press conference. Now it's time to get in the ring. Now it's time for NATO and Russia to get in the ring. Now, I'm going to tell you something, man. If I was NATO, I wouldn't go for that. If you're NATO and you're watching this, don't go for that, man. Don't let them just send their damn drones all in your country. Don't let them do that to you. We're hoping NATO's watching this, man. Press the button, man. Don't let Russia punk you out like that. Hold you out, man. Do something about it. I'm so sick of these nations. We vow vengeance. We're going to sanctions. No, we don't want to see sanctions. We want to see bombs. We want to see blood. We want to see war. Damn, a sanction, man. We're going to do an embargo. We're going to do a sanction. We're going to cripple their economy. Here's the prophecy. Even though you have nations that use that as consequences to directly affect the economy and trade and imports and exports, but war is inevitable. It's inevitable, right? The second Ezra, chapter 5:1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So people are going to be taken in a great number. Tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are going to start dying. That's what this means. The Lord said the days are coming where people are going to be taken in a great number, meaning killed, destroyed. How's that going to happen? By the wars. Let's go to 2 Ezra 16, and let's jump to verse 34. 2 Ezra chapter 15, and actually I'm going to read 32. 2 Ezra 16 and 32. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. Right, because you're going to have bombs devastating cities. That's how the earth is going to lay waste. By the waster. When you read Isaiah 54:16, the Most High created the waster to destroy. Fields and cities and highways and infrastructure, all of that is going to be broken down. Bridges, And there's a prophecy, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. A lot of that is not just because of disease or, what have you. It's because of the lack of technology, the lack of resources, and highways being blown up, bridges being blown up, even your means of transportation. Your will to go to a city and not be able because your family's dead, you got one leg, there's a lot of reasons that show how that prophecy may potentially go down. And here we are reading one aspect is because of war. That's why it says, because no man shall travel therethrough. Verse number 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no helpers. Their daughters shall mourn, having no husbands. And the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish because of famine. So men are going to die straight up and down. Rather, they're drafted. There's a conscription that takes place all over again. You got the selected service that drafts you into the army, navy, whatever. And most men are going to be in this World War III because there's a lack of will for people to support the wars that their government promotes. A lot of people know about the conspiracies, the hidden agendas of gold, oil, and drugs. And a lot of people know why their country really wants to go to war. And it has nothing to do with weapons of mass destruction. It has nothing to do with what they tell you through propaganda in the media, but through whistleblowers, through the spirit of Yahweh, while Yahweh shine on the earth. A lot of people don't want to go to war, man. I wonder if I look it up, what they say enlistment in the military, is it going up or down? Let's see. Enlisting in military let's see. Let's just type going down. Maybe they say it's not. Okay, you see that? You see that? Military enlistment is generally down, with overall numbers lower than in past decades due to factors like a strong economy. It has nothing to do with it. A shrinking pool of qualified young adults and declining interest in service. You see that? Declining interest. So they're going to force the hand of people to come into the military. That's why Second Ezra says that in wars, I'm going to read it again. Second Ezra 16:34. In wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So you got that going on, right? We're watching this Venezuela incident as well. They want them oil. They want that oil in Venezuela. So they're painting that picture that the guy Maduro, they say he has weapons of mass destruction. He's eating children. And you know these devils, man, your time is up, man. You can't pull the wool over our eyes anymore. You want the oil. You want the resources, man. You probably want the children they got. You probably see they got a booming population with a harvest their organs. You want the oil, and you want to paint this guy out to do a regime change. You want this guy to be a demon, Maduro. You see how he's linking up with Russia. He's linking up with China. You're going to be cut out the oil deal. And that's why you want to go to Venezuela. We don't care what all that other stuff you're talking about. We're not buying it. We're not going for it. You're going to be cut out the deal. You know you trillions of dollars in debt. You need the damn oil, and they looking to cut you out and do trade with China and Russia. And you're not going for that. So you're going to take this guy out. But you're going to paint the picture that this guy's eating children. He's a drug dealer. He's a murderer. And he has weapons of mass destruction. That's why I read Psalms 55. They have no changes. Habakkuk says they transgress by wine. You know? Look, they call them terrorists. Oh, we don't want the terrorists to come into America. They're bringing drugs. It's the cartel. Stop going for the lies. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. The Most High said he's going to consume them with the spirit of his mouth, man. Right? This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh, Bahashmi Abushai, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So before the physical destruction comes with the chariots, the spiritual destruction is coming. He's been revealed. And all of his darkness and his hidden agendas and propagandas and lies is being exposed by the spirit of his mouth, meaning by the men of the Most High, right? So you got that going on. I had this, but you got them protests in D.C. You got senators speaking up against that, bro. So we don't want the National Guard. You have senators defying the president, nation against nation, right? What else did I have? Oh, the guy I was just speaking of, Maduro, he said World War III has already begun. And a Roman Empire, where it says U.S. Empire, has a war plan aimed at imposing its global hegemony. So he already said it's already going down. It's already begun. I had this pulled up. Further proof America's done, right? Just further proof their infrastructure got a grade C. So their entire, you see that the roads are all messed up. This society is done, man. The bridges are done. The highway is finished. They never finished these construction projects. There are certain highways you go, they've been working on the same damn project for 15 years. Bridges are collapsing. You know, everything's done. They got a C. This is supposed to be the greatest country on earth. Their infrastructure received a C. It's like you going across a bridge. 7 out of 10 times it might work. 3 out of 10 times it might collapse. You know, look at this infrastructure. Let me pull this up. U.S. infrastructure improved to an overall grade of C. It went from a C minus to a C. What a joke. Their aviation got a D plus. Their dams got a D plus. These dams are ready to break and explode. Drinking water in America is at a C minus. They got microscopic shrimp, lead infested water. How does America? I don't want to hear nothing about a third world country any damn more. Don't say that. Anybody say, well, America is a third world country, the drinking water is at a C minus. Make it make sense. Right? What else? Their levees are at a D plus. Energy's at a D plus. This place is done. Look, man. You would have thought we're reading about the report card of Nepal or the Philippines or Rwanda. Their wastewater is at a D plus. You might be drinking some of the damn wastewater because the drinking water is at a C minus. Hey, out here in Baltimore, they always do a boiling water advisory. Hey, certain parts in the city of Baltimore, the water is damn yellow. Let's go to Revelation 16 real quick. The Lord said, it is done, right? It is done. I'm going to go back to that. I just got to get this. Revelation chapter 16 and 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne saying, it is done. It's done, man. It's done. This place is done. It's finished. I mean, what more does somebody have to, what else do we have to go into? I mean, look at this. Their hazardous waste has a C. This is not a safe place for the children of the Lord. This is not our rest. Let me get that in Micah chapter 2. This is not a safe place, right? You can't drink the water. You might get shot by the police. You might get fired from your job. You might get shot by your own brother. This is not a safe place for the dove and the sheep of the Most High. Micah 2 and 10. Arise, ye, and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And how can you not tell that this place can't destroy you? The road will destroy you. The water will destroy you. Your enemy will destroy you. Right? What else they got? Schools got a D plus. I mean, that makes perfect sense. The roads have a D plus. The rails have a B minus. You know why? Because nobody uses them. They should be intact. America has an ancient rail system compared to Japan, who has bullet trains that can levitate and go 300 miles per hour. So, of course, the rails have a B minus. That's probably what got them that from a C minus to a C. Their public parks have a C minus. And your kid go down a slide, and the slide will break. People smoking weed at the park, man. Sodomites popping each other. Freakism. Madness. And they got a C. And I mean, this doesn't even add up to a C. How does this add up to a C? Something ain't right. Right? Something ain't right. I don't know about this. And I'm led to believe it's just these rails that got them over, because nobody uses them. So they probably say, you know what? In order for us not to get a D, let's say that we're going to add the rails into the report to kind of, give us some leverage, kind of offset some of the D pluses, the D's that we have. This place is done. Right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13. Right? Hebrews chapter 13 and 14. It reads, for here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Yeah, we're seeking the kingdom of heaven. We're seeking a land that floweth with milk and honey, man. We're not seeking a land where you can't drink the water because you might die. This place is over, right? It's so bad, they have a group called Project 2025. They said, we know our society's collapsing. We're trillions of dollars in debt. Our infrastructure, our water, our planes, we're all done. But, and you know what? Let's try to, make the population increase. There's a negative birth rate in America. Look at this. The conservative think tank, they got think tanks behind crafting Project 2025 will call for a Manhattan Project to restore the nuclear family. In response to America's falling fertility rate, according to a draft policy paper. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child, this ain't talking about us. When they say America's falling fertility rate, this ain't a so-called white man. Is a natural-born homosexual. He hates his own women. He hates women in general. He'd rather pop a man than pop his woman. Die a faggot. Slakia. Die homosexual. And even these men who lay with their women, they don't even want to lay with those women. They women got to tell you, oh, Harold, I'm ovulating. Oh, Harold, it's time. We're trying. Me and Harold are trying. We're trying to have a baby. We're trying. I'm ovulating. They're marking their calendar down. It's time. Come on, it's time. It's time. I've never seen the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American husband and wife, man. And a brother look at a woman and she get pregnant, man. Ain't no you trying, man. See, Jake loved a woman, man. They got something called baby making music. Am I going to go into what baby making music is and pull a precept? No. Right? It's 12:39 a.m. You know what baby making music is. Esau, they playing death metal, Black Sabbath, and Ozzy Osbourne. So their spirits ain't right. Their spirits ain't right to procreate. They're here to bring death. That's what the Most High is showing you. They are not here to bring life. They're here to bring death. That's all they're here for. Right? Look at this. The Heritage Foundation's draft position paper called We Must Save the American Family. Meaning we have to tell these natural bred homosexual white men to hold off on your lust and fight just for a few generations to lay down with a woman. Don't be you. You got to fake, put on a facade, and just pretend that you like this woman. Save the American family. Pretend. Stop dealing with your daughter. Stop molesting your son. And conduct yourself like the Israelites conduct themselves. Issachar has 50 babies. Ephraim, Manasseh, Judah, Levi, Benjamin. Let me get that in Exodus. The more they afflicted them, the more they grew. So what are they really saying? They're telling the so-called white man, we know you're a homosexual. I don't even want to say that. They had cropped the video. Esau saying, you know, that he's a homosexual. But just stop it for a little bit. And try to be an American. Being an American is a facade, right? For the natural Edomite. Being an American, you have a suit, you have a tie, you drink your cup of joe. That's not who Esau is. Esau is not an American. He's an Edomite. The American is an invention, the same way that the Negro is an invention. He is not an American. You know? But let me get this. What was I getting? Exodus, right? The American is an invention. It's a superficial invention. It's a facade to keep the Israelites drunk, right? So this Exodus chapter 1 and verse number 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And they're grieved, man. I see their faces, man. When I'm out with my family, I'm doing what I got to do, man. Some of you brothers, you can attest to it, man. Got your fringes on, and your woman in order, and your children in order. Even in the world, they hate seeing that unity of the Israelites, man. Oh, they still have babies. Don't let them see a father with his son. They could be having the best day of their life, man. But if they see you like Haman saw Mordecai, they lose their damn mind. It reminds them of what they'll never have. Right? Esau's happy to have one child, man. They're the ones that use surrogates. We don't deal with surrogates. I just saw this damn Eve was a surrogate. They paid $85,000 for a surrogate. 65. This the money. This is how they spend their money. Check this out. 75 to 85,000 for a surrogate mother. 65,000 to 95,000 for in vitro fertilization and fertility testing on their eggs. They spend X amount at the sperm bank. They go. I've never in my life seen a sperm bank. I've been all over the country by the Spirit of the Most High. I have never seen a sperm bank. Esau knows what a sperm bank is. He's at the sperm bank. He's at the in vitro fertilization. He's having test tube babies. He's spending what you make in a year. He spends that on trying to have just one son. And while he's spending all that money, he's still being a sodomite, man. A lot of these Edomite women, they know these men, them Edomite men ain't into them, man. A lot of these Edomite women, they come home from work and they Edomite husband got their panties on, got their bra on, they act like they didn't see it. So they start popping pills and, they're done. The point is, it says the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. Like they say, we don't die, we multiply. And that's where they have Project 2025. Where's that at? So we still got more. To try to save the American family, man. You can't save the American family. Let's go to Psalms, right? I want Psalms chapter 109. You can't save the American family. Psalms chapter 119 and verse number 13. Here's the precept. Let his posterity be cut off, and in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. So your entire genealogy is going to be cut off. Your posterity, your children, your offspring, and all of the generations that come after you, they will be cut off. That's why you have this negative birth rate. This is Job chapter 18 and verse number 17. It reads, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. So he's not going to have any more sons and nephews, right? The Lord said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So let me read this again. We must save the American family, calls on Donald Trump's administration to enact policies to encourage more people to get married and have children. This place is done. You just had Pride Month. How many people were in their studies, in their observations, how many people engaged and were actively and participated in Pride Month? But now you're telling people got to save the American family. Esau's the fool. That's why he's called the foolish man. The fool saith in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they. Now he has to make laws. He has to make laws so the so-called white man cannot be a homosexual. Can you believe that? He's putting laws out there so the so-called white man could lay with the so-called white woman. He has to make laws. I don't need a law. You don't need a law. Esau does. He's not like us. We're above all people, right? We know that. So he's enacting policies to encourage more people to get married and have children. According to a report in the Washington Post, which obtained a copy of the 5-page executive summary. This place is done, right? Why it matters, right? What's going on? Look at this. They got the graphs. The hell with they graphs, man, right? You can't stop America from being destroyed. Your birth rate is still going to go down. The entire so-called white race is still going to go down, man. By the hand of the Most High. The Lord said, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle of them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Malaki Bashai, has spoken it. Paraphrasing. So with that, we're going to close up, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Malaki Bashai. It's the end of the world. These are exciting times. Keep watching. Keep your foot on the gas. These prophecies are unfolding. Do not let up. Put your foot on Satan's neck. Like Joshua had the captains and the generals and the top men put their foot on these kings' necks, man. That's the power the Most High gave us. So with that, Yahweh Ba'Shema Mashiach Kwam Lakim Shai Brakatham, Kwam Yashalom. Shalom.